and welcome to my podcast. My name is Becky. You can find me on Ravelry as Becky Mundy, and then you can find me anywhere else as Becky Knits. If this is the first time you're joining me, thank you for clicking on my video, and if you are a returning viewer, then thank you for coming back. It's been, I always start this by telling you how long it's been since the last time we spoke. Yeah, I think I podcasted a week ago on Monday, so it's been 2 weeks, but kind of also not really. So I have got a fair amount done since we last spoke, I think. I was really hoping to have a finished object to show you this morning, but it's really hot here. And like, I mean, by some standards, I mean, we're in the UK, so, you know, when we say it's really hot, know that that doesn't mean that it's really hot. It just means that we're not used to it being so warm. I think today the high is going to be like 33, and that's just crazy. Like, yeah, it's June. Yeah, so anyway, it's been really hot. Yesterday was, I think, the hottest day of the year so far, and I wanted to knit, but Rory, my youngest, was not feeling it. He wanted, I don't know, he just wasn't happy with the heat. Poor boy. And yeah, I couldn't get comfortable anywhere I was sitting. I was just like, ugh. So, but both the children are at nursery today, and they are somebody else's problem. So I'm going to attempt to enjoy some cool knitting time. I think I'm going to go upstairs and see if we've got a fan I can bring down and just blast at myself. But anyway, I've got sidetracked there. I'm wearing my Summer Sock Camp 2022 t-shirt. This is from the Spreadshirt store. So I'll leave a link to that down below if you're interested. And I'll leave a link to Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady, her video about Summer Sock Camp. So if you don't know what that is, then you can go there. It's basically just a summer of knitting socks. But I will be referring to that whilst I'm going through the things that I'm knitting. So if you're not sure what it is, then you can go over and check that out. So if you hear me talking about camp or sock camp, then I'm talking about Summer Sock Camp 2022, run by the Crazy Sock Lady over on Instagram and Ravelry. So let's get stuck right in. I think since the last time I saw you, I have finished a sock, I think. I don't think I had this one finished last time. If I remember correctly, I think I said I'll finish this today or something like that. Here we are, my Christmas at Hogwarts 2021 colourway from a homespun house, DK weight. Yeah. If you are new here, don't worry, it's not suddenly Christmas. I just like to knit Christmas socks in the summer and then like store them up so that when it's cold, I have some fresh socks to wear. So I have this is a chocolate frog charm from Simply Serving. Have that on there. Working on the second sock. I should probably move the charm over. There's the second one. Really, really liking how it's knitting up. It's kind of, we've got some like pooling-y bits and some stripy bits and things, and I'm really enjoying it. It's just making me happy. Yeah, I like DK socks. I like Christmas yarn. It's good. So those are living in my Knitting Unicorns bag, which is also festive. It just, yeah, makes me so happy to see Christmassy things, particularly on a day like today when it is just baking. So that is the first thing I've been working on. I haven't touched those in a couple of days actually, because I've been working so much on the socks that are living in this bag. Another seasonally appropriate. Sorry if you can hear my neighbour's dogs, but my cats like to taunt them by sitting on the fence, and my neighbours have got Jack Russells, so they're like itty bitty dogs, very tall fence. It's quite amusing. Sorry, yeah, so this is my pumpkins bag from the Woolly Tangle. Like I say, very seasonally appropriate, and the socks that I am knitting are equally as seasonally appropriate. If you've been around for a while, you might recognise this sock. It is the Maple sock by Deanna's House of Craft. Oh, Deanna's Home of Craft. I got these. I got this yarn when we were on holiday last year, and I think I must have cast them on fairly soon after I got the yarn. Possibly while we were away, I got them to cake it up in the shop, and I have to say the cake is very pretty. So if anyone can tell me what ball winder I need to get a cake that stays so, I use Centerpole. How do it? Mine always collapse. But anyway, so yeah, I must have cast these on last October or so, or November. Finished one, and then for whatever reason didn't knit the second one, and I was really craving the String of Lights pattern by Sock Witchery, which is what this is. It's such a great pattern. If you want something that's it's like as easy as vanilla socks, but is not as plain as vanilla socks, because it is just so straightforward. So I really like these. I wanted something, yeah, it was a bit different from a vanilla sock, and so I went for this. I almost cast on just a new pair of socks, and then I thought, well, why don't I just finish a pair, and I'll have like much quicker gratification than if I cast on a whole new pair. It'll feel like I've knit a whole pair in less time. So the only thing with these socks is that they don't count for sock camp, because you can't enter whips, and because the first sock was completed before the start of June, it doesn't count. So, but I'm at the toe, so I will finish these today. And yeah, I think last year I was like, I can't possibly knit anything that won't qualify for camp. That would just be a waste of knitting time. But in reality, like, I want socks at the end. I'm not that bothered about the prizes and things like that. Like, a prize would be nice, but I'm not knitting for prizes. I'm knitting, I think I said this last week, I'm knitting because I like knitting socks. So, and it's fun to join in with other people. So these don't count for camp, but that doesn't bother me. I'm still knitting socks and enjoying myself immensely. So those are my like most active whip at the moment, closely followed by my Christmas at Hogwarts socks, which I will pick up again this afternoon. Ooh, although maybe I won't actually. I've got 2 other sock projects. Let's do a camp sandwich. So the first pair that I showed you, the Christmas pair, they qualify for camp. These don't qualify for camp. The socks in this bag also don't qualify for camp. This is the heel toe do-si-do from Crazy Sock Lady. I think I'd finished this last week, but if not, then here it is. This is a really fun pattern, and I really like the stripy yarn, and I love how it's like coming together with the pattern. The sort of zigzag makes me very happy. So I cast on for the second sock last week, and I am just about to finish the ribbing. I was really stressing out about casting these on because I wanted them to match, and so I've kind of, for the ribbing part, I'm not counting rows or rounds. I'm just knitting until I feel like I'm at the same point in the yarn, so that they can be as close as possible. So yes, enjoying those a lot. So I might pick those up this afternoon and get into those a little bit more. I have to knit like probably 10 or 20 rounds of this pattern before it's like solidified in my head, so quiet knitting time is required. The bag that they are in is actually a makeup bag from Written in the Stars. I got it in from Spirit of Equinox. I got it from, we've got like a Harry Potter themed shop, magic themed shop in Norwich, and I got it from there. It's called Norwich Cauldron. I'll leave a link down below. But yeah, I really love this, and it is perfect for a sock. It sits so nicely, and then the yarn just stays in and my knitting just comes out. It's great. Love it. The drawback, zip. I am a bit cautious of zips with my sock knitting, but I feel like the bag is roomy enough that things aren't like crammed in and not zipping really tightly to the knitting. So I definitely wouldn't put anything bigger than a sock in here, I don't think, because I think it would catch if it was too close to the zip. So I'll pop that there, seeing as the other one didn't want to play ball. So that one doesn't count for camp because the socks that I'm knitting there, I started those September or October last year. So yeah, they don't count for camp. And then these socks, I think I showed them to you last week and I haven't worked on them at all, but these might actually be what I come to this afternoon once I finish my maple socks, because I do need to concentrate a bit more on these. These are my Lenore socks by Stephanie Paul McPhee, and the yarn is from the Myths and Legends collection by Noodle Soup. And this is the Shook colourway. This is the main skein, and then it came with a mini skein, a like really beautiful red mini skein, but I won't be using that in these. I'll use that for something else. And that is living in my Fibre Fox, the Fibre Fox bag. I got this in the run up to sock camp last year. It's going to be my summer sock camp bag. It's just so pretty, and it's got my my pin from last year's camp on it. So that's all of that. That's all the socks that I am working on at the moment. I've got a drawer here and a basket there of other things. I wrote myself a list of all of my whips. Again, last year I was like, I am knitting nothing but socks for the entirety of the summer, and I ended up finishing like one pair because I'm knitting nothing else, because I just sort of like burnt myself out on the idea that I had to knit nothing but socks. And so this year I was like, well, I'll knit some socks, sure, because I'm going to do that anyway, but I'm just going to enjoy myself. If I want to knit something else, then that's absolutely fine. So I went through all of my whips, all of them, and wrote a list of everything that I have that I'm working on. And then I just picked a couple of things. So I picked 4 pairs of socks, and then 2 other things. One of them I finished super quickly. That was like it was for somebody else. I just got it out of the way. And then the other thing that's not socks that I'm working on is living in this bag from Knitting Unicorns and a Homespun House, and it is the Salty Air Tea. Here it is. Ooh. This is a new pattern by designer whose name I'm going to put down here because Samantha and her surname has completely fallen out of my brain, but I'll put her name down on the screen and then obviously link to her down below. But yeah, this is just a beautiful cropped short sleeved tee with just a lace yoke, and then it's plain other than that. And I saw Lindsay of Sock Witchery, she had finished one, and it just looked really nice, and she knit it in with 2 skeins, and I had 2 skeins of this yellow, which is my hand-dyed yarns. It was kind of like a happy accident colourway, and I only had 2 skeins of it, and I really wish I'd dyed more because I had so many people say that they liked it. And then on here, charms wise, I've got a little turtle and a ship's wheel, because the name of the tea makes me think of the sea, salty air tea. So I went for that. So I haven't worked on this for a little while, so I'll probably pick this up again as well today when I finish my maple socks. But yeah, really loving this. It just makes me really happy to knit on it. So definitely gonna have to work on this today, because it's definitely a day of sitting somewhere cool and knitting on things that make you happy. So there we are. Oh, I'm gonna have a drink because it's just so warm. Normally I have a cup of tea, but it's too warm. Too warm for tea. I'll have another tea later, but water. Water, refreshing water. So that is it. That is what I'm working on at the moment. Those are my active whips. I've got a jumper that I'm knitting for Aiden, but it's for Christmas. I'm getting ahead of myself, so it doesn't look any different than, I think I showed it to you last week. It doesn't look any different than when I showed it to you last week, so we'll just leave that one for now, and I'll show it to you when there's something a bit more interesting. What's going on with my hair? Yeah, I don't think there was anything else at all that I'm touching. Nope. So let's move along into acquisitions. I do have some acquisitions. So I showed you the bag that I bought. I got this last Friday, and I love it. It's also a little bit sort of velvety. It's quite nice. And then I bought quite a bit of yarn. Maybe I said last week, have I said out loud that I was trying it from stash? And then I watched an episode of the Sock Witchery podcast, and Lindsay said that she just likes buying yarn and supporting. It might have been an old podcast, because sometimes I like to go back and watch old podcasts, but yeah, she said that she just likes supporting small businesses, and she likes buying yarn, and she likes getting sock yarn, having pretty sock yarn, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I was like, you know what, you're right. So these are my acquisitions. I'll start with the charm. Whenever I order stuff from Molly at a homespun house, I always try and sort of maximize what I'm going to get. So I'll try and buy like a skein of yarn and something else, just because it's coming from Germany, and the shipping costs are a bit higher than if I was buying it from someone in the UK, and I don't want to be buying, like, be thinking to myself, oh, I should have bought while I was there, I should have bought that. And I really love the Simply Serving Progress Keepers, but you can't get them in the UK, other than I can't get them shipped directly from the maker, so I have to buy them through somebody else, and Molly is the only person that I know of that sells them. So I bought, you're not gonna be able to see in the plastic wrapper, I bought cat loaf. It is so cute, so adorable. And there are at least 2 other charms that I want to get. And so I'll be placing another order with Molly probably next month to get more yarn and more charms. So yeah, but I really like my cat loaf. That'll go on something. soon. And then the thing that I bought, the yarn that I bought from Molly was the Flash Dance sock set that she's done. So it's Flash Dance, and then Barbie, and then Refresh, and Electric Feel. I think that's the correct colours. So it's a 50 gram skein, I think. 80 grams altogether, so I think it's 50 grams and then 10, 10, 10. That would be 80, right? So yeah, I saw her knitting on these a couple of weekends ago, and I just really liked it. And yeah, it's so soft. It's on her soft sock base, so that is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. But I don't know what Molly does with them, because somehow her yarns just feel like these ones are also all that same like makeup, but somehow Molly's just feels softer. I don't know, it must be special merino or something. Anyway, I also bought I bought 3 skeins from Skein and the Stitch, but one of them is a gift, so I'll just show you these 2. I got Candied Apple and God's Own Country. These are, this is from her Yorkshire collection, and I don't know what collection this is from, but I just really like it. So there we go. I think that with this one I might actually not make socks. I'm thinking I might make a cowl, but I don't know. They are just so beautiful. I'm always just in awe of Jess's yarn. The colours are just so vibrant. I really love Jess's yarn. So there was those. And then a new dyer to me, Castleview Yarns. She's local-ish to me. She's Suffolk. Yeah, and this is the Fear of the Dark colourway, and I'm a bit speechless because it is just so gorgeous. I can't even. Just, I mean, like, there's like this blue here is just so beautiful, and like the way that these like pinks and blues like look next to each other, and then this like darker splodge up here, it's just, and like this speckly bit here, I just really love it. Every time I look at it I'm like, ooh, like, you know, just so beautiful, and I cannot wait to get this caked up and cast on. In fact, when I finish my maple socks, I'm going to cake this up and I'm going to let it sit next to me. I'm going to knit on something else for an hour or 2, and then I'm going to cast on probably String of Lights with this yarn, because it has been, I got it yesterday. It arrived yesterday and it has been staring at me. I even picked it up when my husband got home. I picked it up and I was like, look at this yarn, just look at how beautiful it is. And he was like, what? His response to that is always, yeah. So yeah, I was just, and then I was sitting, we were watching Critical Role, and I was sitting and I was just kind of petting it and like admiring it. It's just so pretty. So yeah, this is definitely going to be cast on later, and Castleview Yarns is a new fave. So yeah, that is it for, but you see, now I'm looking at the Flash Dance sock set and I'm like, oh, but should I cast this one on? It's going to be the Castleview Yarns that I cast on next, I think. The Flash Dance can wait until my Christmas at Hogwarts socks are cast off, because I only have 2 or 3 more DK weight yarns in my stash for socks, and so I might hold on to those now during the summer. Now that it's getting real hot, I might hold on to those until like August, September time, and still get a bit of a head start on the Christmas sock knitting, but it'll be a bit cooler for the heavy yarn. So yeah, that is it. Just extract this sock from my children's toolbox. That is it. The other thing that I need to do today is make a shirt. If I want my son to have a shirt for his birthday, which is tomorrow, then I need to make it today. I've got all the pieces cut out. It's all sitting and ready to go. I don't know what it is. My sewing machine just seems like a stranger to me at the moment, which is a bit sad. I've gotten really lazy. I think maybe I said this last week. I've gotten really lazy, and I'm like, if I can't do it on the overlocker, then I'm not doing it. So I think I could make most of it on the overlocker if I wanted to, but when I made one last time, I did like really nice like flat felled seams, and it just felt like such a nice garment. I was so proud of it. I like hung it on the wall because I was so pleased with it. It felt like the sort of nicest thing that I'd ever made, after the boys, obviously. But yeah, it felt so perfect. I was so pleased with it. And so it just feels like a shame to not try and aim for that same level of like satisfaction in a piece of work. Yeah, and then I just need to do it all over again next week for Rory. And actually I keep saying next week, but in reality, Aiden's birthday is Saturday and Rory's birthday is Thursday. So if I want to get, my plan had been to make Aiden's shirt last week and then Rory's shirt this week. But in reality, if I want Rory to have a shirt, then I need to get on that today as well. I could do that in the evenings. But yeah, I don't know, because I'm also like Aiden's birthday party. We kind of slipped into life stuff now, so I'm not going to talk anymore about fibre or yarn or anything like that. So if you're not interested in my life, that's absolutely fine. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. But if you would like to hear me talk about my life a bit, then thank you. I'm going to carry on. Yeah, Aiden's birthday party isn't until a week tomorrow. So I don't know whether to wait, well, not to wait, whether to just sort of take the pressure off myself a little bit and do the shirt for his birthday party. That might be nice. And then I can like go upstairs and get all the bits I need for Rory's shirt, cut all of that out, and maybe focus on Rory's shirt. Because Rory's not having a birthday party, we're going to the zoo on his birthday with my parents. So maybe that's the best thing to do. Make Rory's shirt the priority and make Aiden's shirt for his birthday party. I mean, I still have to make them, so it's not like I have an issue with making Aiden's shirt, but I can't wait to make Rory's shirt because they're the same pattern, just different fabrics. So I don't know, but I probably do need to get on Rory's shirt as well, sooner rather than later, if I want it to be done in time. My husband's just got back from dropping the children at nursery, so now I'm like feeling really awkward because he's about to come in through the door and see me talking to myself. So I'm just talking to myself.
I'm used to it.
So I'm just gonna hunker down, knit socks, and pretend like everything's okay. And that I'm not just like confused about what day it is or what year it is or where I am. So yeah, anyway, that is it. That is enough of me rambling. Thank you very much for watching. You will find links to everything that I have said, you will find links to down below. Let me know in the comments what you're knitting on right now. I would love to chat to you about your knitting, or pop over onto Instagram and talk to me over there, because I really love chatting to people about my knitting. That's That's why I'm here doing this. So, okay. Thank you for watching. And I will see you next time. Bye!